Alrighty, what's going on guys, I'm thesolobandit and welcome back to carx drifting online. So in today's video we're going to be talking about camera angles and why it's probably one of the most overlooked parts in this game when it comes to fine-tuning your setups, getting true speed, true angle, because I feel that is one of the most important things in this game, and that is your camera angle, not your tune setup. You can have a absolute dog water of a tune setup, but if you're using one of the specific camera angles in the game, you can make that tune setup look like it's an absolute savage. You can make it look like it's lightning fast, you can make it look like it's holding crazy angle, but in reality you're actually straight lining and you're doing really shallow lines. We all know those dudes, they absolutely boot it through the track thinking that they're all that, but in reality they're straight lining, but on their screen it doesn't look like that at all. So I'm going to go through some of the camera angles that I would prefer to use, and some of the camera angles that I really don't like. Now, if this is one of your camera angles that I mentioned in the game that I'm critiquing, I'm not trying to attack anyone personally, but there is YouTubers out there as well that do use specific camera angles to make their tunes look better than they really are, hence why they don't actually do tandems for their drift tune setups. They only do solo runs because they know that the tune setup doesn't actually fit the bill like they claim it does. But anyway guys, enough of that. I'm going to run a little section here in cam 1, which is what I use, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same run in a few other camera angles just to show you the massive difference and the feedback and the feeling in the car. So as you can see with that run, the car holds crazy amounts of angle, and it's true angle as well. You can dictate your speed a lot more as well. Now I could have packed on a little bit more angle if I wanted to, but it scrubs way too much speed on those larger sections. Also, I could straighten up a little bit more as well and go even more faster if I have to. It all depends on the server and the players that you're playing with at the time. Are they cruisy? Are they proper tandem players? Or are they all fast and furious trying to get to the end as fast as possible? Like I say, it always depends on who you're playing with. So we're going to go ahead and move over to cam 2 now. Now, the reason I do not like cam 2, to start off with, it has a horrid view that you start off in. Also, this is one of the camera angles that I was talking about that makes the car look like it's holding more angle than it really is, and it makes you look like you're going faster than you really are. Alrighty, so like I said, it makes you look like you're going way faster than you actually are, and I was holding way less angle than I was in my cam 1 view, where I was around about 60 to 67, I'm pretty sure, for the most part. In this one I was around 50 to 55, even 40 in some points, so that just shows you that it does actually make a significant difference. Also, this car is a great vehicle if you want to try and hide the distance between you and the car in front of you. So if you're one of those people that tandems and want to make a video that looks like you're crazy close to someone in front of you, this is the camera angle that most people are going to use. But in reality, there's actually a significant gap in between you and the car in front, because you just cannot simply see the car in front of you that well, which is why it's so good for those specific camera angles. Alrighty, so we're not actually going to go through this camera angle here, because I don't think anyone really uses it. I wouldn't recommend using this, mainly because it's just too twitchy, and you can't really figure out where the sides of your cars really are, and it's just not a very good camera angle at all. Alrighty, so the next view we're going to talk about is the hood view and the in-car view, sorry. These two views they're a little bit iffy. They are a personal favorite of mine. I love in-car drifting because it just feels so much more realistic. If anything, the in-car view, the cockpit view, is my favorite. But unfortunately, I just do not use it anymore because, you know, it's just not the best in this game in particular. And I'm so used to the third-person drifting now that it just doesn't make sense to switch over at this point. Maybe in the future, but we're going to go ahead and do a run here in both of those views real quick and then just talk about some of the downsides of them. Alrighty, so as you can see with that camera angle right there, you actually hold very shallow lines, which makes you go off track very easily. You can hit barriers with the rear of your car very easily because it's hard as to determine how far or how close you are to the actual barriers, and it's extremely twitchy, as you would have seen there. There was a few times there where I oversteered and I had no clue what the hell was going on, and it's mainly due to the camera angle and the perspective that you're getting from the car, which is why I said to you guys from the start, it's all about getting the best camera angle which gives you the best feedback and you know, displays the true power, the true speed, and the true angle that you actually are holding in game. So now we're going to go into the in-car camera. Now I actually like this view, like I said. So this is a tricky one. So alrighty, so like I said earlier, this camera angle is a little bit more trickier. Although you can hold tons of angle with it, which is really nice, it's really easy to get used to, but when you're trying to be aggressive in this camera angle, it's very twitchy. But if you're doing solo runs, if you're just trying to chill, if you're in a chill lobby, even if you're on 90s, this is probably a really good camera angle for 90s because you are already going slow, so you don't have to be as aggressive. But if you are one of those players that is using a very stiff front-ended car, which is very twitchy, this is definitely going to make it very difficult to try and have a smooth run, especially if you're trying to make a video. Now obviously this camera angle, I only use this camera angle for cinematics. I think that's the only reason it actually gets used, so I'm going to go ahead and skip past that one. Now this camera angle here is actually not that bad. This is really good for tandems because you can see a little bit higher. Now if we had a little bit of a better camera setting, we could adjust this ourselves and make the perfect camera angle, but we can't. But this one is really good as well. Now just keep in mind, I never use this camera angle. This is probably the first time I've used it in about 2 months. So it is a little bit tricky to try and get a perfect line. But as you can see on that last corner, you can hold an insane angle, almost 70 degrees of angle right there. It wasn't the prettiest of lines, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea. It's actually really good for tandem. There is a guy on YouTube that uses this for a lot of his videos or his live streams. Renegade Tiger, he uses this view a lot and he's actually really good at tandeming with it. It's great for doing tricks and stuff like that. So if you're looking for a view, a camera angle that is really good for trying to figure out your proximity, trying to figure out how wide you're going, this is actually a really good camera angle. It actually really is. Now moving on to, I'm pretty sure this is the final one, right? Now this is pretty similar to the camera angle that I use. If you guys are an OG of the channel, you know that this is the original camera angle that I used. But once again, the twitchiness done it for me, and also it does push you or make you feel like you're pushing wider than you really are. So I'll just demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So you would have noticed drastically there, my angle was way down than some of the previous camera angles. And that is probably one of the biggest downside of this camera angle, is you do scrub a lot of angle, which is the reason that this car pushes you off to the side so much, is because you're actually straight lining for the most part. So once again, this is another perfect example of a camera angle which makes you look like you're holding way more speed than you really are. But if you do use this camera angle and you're absolutely killing it because that's what you started with, that's what you stick with, then that's no issue at all. But for the most part, the way I see it, guys, at the end of the day, the best camera angle in the game is the camera angle that feels the best, right? Now, that's really, really vague, actually. Let me rephrase that. The best camera angle, in my personal opinion, is the camera angle where you can go as fast as possible, you can hold as much angle as possible, and is the most stable. And that's the reason I use Cam 1, is because I can put my foot flat to the floor through a lot of corners, hold as much angle as I want, and have no issues at all. Alrighty, so before I end this video off, guys, I just want to mention I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody in particular in this video. That's not the intent of the video. So if you did feel like you were personally attacked in this, I apologize. That was not the intent. I was not trying to do that at all. I was just showcasing the differences between the camera angles and the feeling that you get in the car, the responsiveness, and all of that kind of stuff. And also that if there was a YouTuber, if you did do YouTube and you were trying to manipulate your audience, these are some of the ways that it could have been done with specific camera angles. That is it. I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm not trying to point anybody out. You guys already know that's not what I'm about. I'm about stopping drama and just focusing on creating a better community and getting rid of that toxic crap. I'm not about making it. So I don't really want everyone or anybody getting the wrong idea. So hopefully you guys understand. Also, I unlocked I don't know what it is, but if you look on the screen right now, you'll see a little love heart with a $sign. I think that's for people who want to donate to show a little bit more support. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's there for people that want to show support. You don't have to feel forced to do it. But anyway, let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what camera angle do you like to use? I'd really like to know what camera angle you guys prefer. And with that said, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I'll catch you in a few days in the next video.